Yeah, as you can tell. You know, a bit potty there. But no. As you know, in retail, you are pulled left, right, and centre anyway.
Yeah.
And that's when you're feeling good. Let alone when you're feeling bad, it feels 10 times worse. And then when you get your busy periods, like you say, summertime, you got people coming for barbecues, beer. Christmas time is always a fun time.
Yeah, definitely.
And if you're struggling then, God help you. I mean, do you feel like you're being pulled every direction, but you're not moving?
Yeah.
Is there going to be enough hours for me next week? Is there going to be a job for me next week? You know, not just generally me, but I mean, anyone with mental illness, you know, they'll be like, well, if they've heard redundancy or layoffs, they're going to start freaking out going, well, is it going to be me? Is it going to be this person? Then it's like, how's it going to affect me again? It's just like a domino effect.
Yeah, definitely. The working environment is a bad environment at the moment. Do you think our society and the working environment is well equipped for people with mental health problems? And like I said, we've already
I can say
clearly
without a shadow of doubt, no, not even close.
No.
The stigma that comes with mental health is horrible because, like I say, it's like, well, there's something not wrong with, something not right with him or her or whatever. You know, something is not right, and
a company will come up with a policy,
yeah,
what have you, and the policy on paper will be very, very good, be brilliant. You'll read it and you'll think that's amazing. But I'm talking about mental health policy. But in reality, in practice, that isn't necessarily, not every manager or team member adheres to that policy. No. And it doesn't, the policy, you know, it's a head office, as it were, policy, and it doesn't really escalate down.
It doesn't trickle down
necessarily. And yeah, I call that like a New Year's resolution kind of thing, where you say, yeah, I'm gonna exercise more this year or whatever, and by the 2nd of January,
yeah, it's gone.
You know, it's gone.
I'm gonna quit smoking. Oh, there's another pack.
Yeah, exactly. There's a lot of lip service paid to mental health, not just in companies, in society in general, actually, that isn't actually in practice followed through.
Yeah.
What would you say has been in your life your worst mental health experience, and what were the depths you got to, and afterwards how did you kind of get out of that so that you're still sitting here today?
Well, it goes a good 7-8 years ago, when my grandfather died with cancer. I was there when he died, and I had to deal with everything. So he collapsed. I had to pick him up, help him to the sofa. Telling my brother to ring my mum. My grand's obviously ringing the doctors at this point. With him bringing up blood, we tell he hadn't got long left. Bear in mind, I'm being spat up blood upon myself in that respect from what's happening. Having to hold his chest, ring obviously the operator on the emergency service, which, don't get me wrong, did absolutely fantastic on the day, but obviously in that time you kind of say, get your backsides here. I need help. To be saying you need to do CPR when, you know, someone's got terminal cancer and has a DNR in place, to be told you could be liable for his death is, at the time I didn't care. It was like, do it, I don't give a rat's backside, you know. I just need someone to help me now because I'm on my own. Even though I had 2 other people in the house, you know, but I had my brother in and out screaming, trying to tell him to calm down. My gran coming in, telling her to sit down so I didn't have to deal with her. But then having to deal with my granddad passing away, and then walking home covered in blood, with all my granddad's friends seeing me that day, going, "Oh, how's your granddad? How's your dad?" You know, that respect. And it's like, "Oh, he's all right. He's just died." You know, I mean, how do you respond to it? I mean, I'm covered in blood, for God's sake. What do you want me to say? And that put me into a very, very dark place where I was drinking heavily most nights. just so I could sleep. So for a good couple of years, I struggled to sleep because I couldn't. Every time I fell asleep, I saw that day, constantly replay in my head. It didn't. I started getting better sleep, started to deal with it better once I met my partner, who's an absolute godsend. She's helped me through some very dark times. Again, like last year, we lost my nephew. We lost our baby 6 weeks prior to losing my nephew. So it was like losing my granddad, dad, whatever, all over again. So it was like I was up here going down, then started coming back, and then it's just done it again. And it was like, so I took on everyone else's stress, everyone's shock, everyone else's grief. Whereas I wasn't grieving, I was dealing with everyone else, trying to keep myself active.
Yeah.
And that time when my nephew died and that lot, I started. So I didn't go to drink this time, I went to smoking.
Right.
And I said I'd never touched a cigarette in my life. And, you know, it's been near enough 2 years now since I've been smoking, from when my nephew stopped breathing in the middle of the night. You know, and unfortunately I'm coming off, I'm quitting, which is good. If everything was easy, it wouldn't be worth it. In that respect.
Yeah,
I mean, you do have to take the hard road to get somewhere in life, and that's where we need to be. And that's how I have to see it as.
I suppose on the spectrum, if we didn't have very bad times,
you couldn't see the good.
We wouldn't have very good times.
You have to see the dark, to see the light.
Just be a plateau, or whatever the word is. Yeah. So, to end on a positive note, what achievements have you achieved? That's a very bad sentence. But, in spite of mental health issues.
Well, a few years ago I joined a disability football team, Sherwood Colliery. At the time was Mansfield Town. So I'm part of one of the biggest. I think we are the biggest club in Nottinghamshire. We have over 60 players, but all have physical, mental disabilities. Got my partner playing in the same team, so which is always fun to play with your partner. In football, because she does some really nasty tackles on me. I can't touch her, which is annoying.
Sure.
We're about to become a father, so that's another very, very proud achievement. I'm happy to say.
Yeah, that's great. I don't like to use the word tips, but do you have any mental health tips? I don't think we should advise. If you see what I mean, I think we should suggest or share our experience, that kind of thing. But definitely don't take it as advice. Again, GP, mental health professionals for that around.
Well, for me, it was writing things down. When I was struggling, I wrote down in my book, in my little journal. Talking was also a big thing for me. Struggling, like I said, I reached out to, like I say, Samaritans. If you don't feel like you can talk to someone, write it down. If you can't write it down, just put it in your phone. Just do a rant in your phone. You can always delete it. Don't look at social media when you're feeling really down. Say there's pages on there, obviously, for depression, all that lot, which is great for if you want to read about, like people's help, and all that lot. But there's also pages out there which don't exactly help you and make you feel worse. If you can't talk, write it down. If you feel like you can't talk to anyone, talk to like the person you can trust the most, whether that be your partner, your best friend. It could just be like say a counsellor or a doctor. I would suggest if you're feeling that bad, just ring Samaritans or someone is going to be confidential. Someone that you don't know who's on the other end of that phone, but Samaritans they are trained to help people. And I would recommend that.
You don't feel like speaking to someone, write it down. I think that's a good.
If you feel really bad and you don't want to read it, you can always burn it.
Actually thinking about it, I'm just thinking off the top of my head, but if you do have to wait 8 months for a counsellor, that's probably a good bit of a document for you to have to say, I'm not feeling too bad now, but this is how I did feel at the time and how potentially I could feel again. Great, thank you, Michael.
No worries.
We will put links to some of the things we've discussed below, and thanks for watching, and hope it's helped. Even if it only helps one person, that's 100% success. So thanks a lot. See you later.